Hi everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm Mariana and I am a singer. My dream was always to show my art to the world. I feel like I've always just wanted to express my feelings and express myself in a way that could help others feel their own feelings and understand their own emotions and help others go through the stuff that I also went through and like eventually achieve some relief or just like find my music relatable in some way and like feel connected. I want to help people connect through music and through my voice. I've been working on music in general. Like I've been writing music for 3 years only. I moved to London in that pursuit. I've always sang, but I wanted to be good at songwriting. So I moved to London and I was like, yeah, this is it. Like I want to be a good writer. I want to be a poet and I want to compose. I want to write music. But I've never had any proper I had never had before any proper music theory lessons, or like I don't know how to read sheets and stuff like that. I'm just good with my ear, and I'm good with melodies and like creating things out of my own brain intuitively. But I was like, I want to learn, so that's why I moved to London. Now I feel like after these 3 years I've learned a lot about the music industry and about how to write in English and about lyrics and stuff. However, I don't feel like I've learned that much theory. In the meantime, one of my dreams is to write like jazz music as well. Not just jazz, but like maybe a fusion. Grab some jazz, grab some R&B, some soul. Neo soul is like my jam. And like also some bossa nova and fado influences, since I'm Portuguese and I grew up listening to Portuguese and Brazilian music as well. And I'm still like finding my sound. I've only started writing music 3 years ago, so I feel like although I've written some good stuff and even one of the songs is out already, I feel like I want to move on. I want to write the music I want to listen to. I want to write the music I admire. And although I really like the songs that I wrote like 2 years ago and stuff that I've been working on for the past 2 years, I feel like, so basically what I wanted to say is that I'm not yet entirely sure that I want to release those songs, because I've written them 2 years ago and I'm like, I've evolved since then as like as a singer and as an artist, and I'm not yet sure that that's the route I want to take. But now I'm gonna move on and tell you something else about me. I also want to tell you more things about me, but I don't even know like exactly where to start. I think I'll just tease a little bit. I want my next project to reflect my origins, who I am, my deep feelings, my sensitivity, my emotions, but also my joy and the beauty in which I experience life, being an empath and being like a super sensitive person, and super romantic. So I guess I want to like show you guys my depth and like who I am, and I think being here at the beach is already like a huge start. I'm just gonna show you my view. Oh, I cannot turn it, guys. Yeah, this is where I am. I thought it would be the perfect place for this video. But yeah, like I'm just gonna give you like a quick story of what's gonna anticipate this project of mine that is like the main project that I'm ever gonna show to the world. Okay, so as I said, I want it to be like jazz, R&B, soul influenced with also bossa nova and fado in the mixture. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but that's my idea, that's my goal. I'm from Porto. I didn't say that before. I'm from Porto, and so I grew up at the beach, near the beach. My grandma had a beach house nearby in Mindelo, and I spent like my summers there. I grew up there. And the ocean, I mean, I think I speak for most of Portuguese people, like the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean that surrounds our country, is basically such a big part of who we are as a nationality and as a culture. I feel like we grow up looking at the infinite possibilities that lie and the mysteries that lie in the ocean, rather than looking at the rest of Europe. And I think that leaves us a quality of like somewhat nostalgia and yearning for something more. This is a quality of dreaming that the people that live at the beach side, especially in front of the ocean, have. And so I've always felt so connected to the spark and the mysteries of the ocean. I didn't really know why. I mean, it's obviously because I'm Portuguese and because I grew up near the ocean, but I've always felt like if I asked the ocean for a dream to come true, the ocean would hear me somehow, like in a mystical way. I've always felt like the ocean has a consciousness, and I've always felt super connected to it. And before I moved to London to pursue my music dream, I had studied psychology and done an internship in Brussels, and I went to Brazil with my parents, and we were facing the Atlantic Ocean from the opposite side, and I begged I cried to the ocean, and I begged for help to follow my dream, because I needed to convince my parents, obviously, to help me go through this path, because I still depended on them fully. So I needed help to pay for the education and everything, and like just support from my family to follow my dream. And at that moment, my parents called me and they told me that they would support my dream after I was waiting for that confirmation for months and doing like an internship that I didn't really want to do that much. And so I asked for 3 wishes. I asked for my voice to come back because I had several problems in the vocal cords for years and years and years. And I asked to follow my dream and help change the world for the better through it, because I felt that that was like connected to who I am as a person and a purpose and everything. You know, singing and making change through music. And so, yeah, they told me that. I cried a lot. I was very, very sensitive at that time. I was very like vulnerable. I was feeling like I didn't have a purpose in my life. I was very lost. And then as the last piece of my heart that felt like it would find a purpose, like found it and held on to it, my parents said yes. And then my life changed completely. I became so much happier. Like I was just like, I can't believe I'm finally living the life of my dreams. Like everything I've ever wished for, like things started falling into place, and I felt like a huge purpose. So I was like, okay, like I know there's something here, right? I know that there's something in me that's telling me that this is the right thing, that I'm following the right path. And then someone told me, as I was talking about my story, someone told me that they were feeling a lot of like Little Mermaid vibes, and I was like, okay, that's weird. I was like, why? They were like, oh, Little Mermaid also lost her voice trying to fit in, and then she recovered it. And I feel like that's probably related to your story, and you're probably gonna recover your voice. It was like, I was like, what? Like, well, hopefully, but I didn't know, but I took it as a sign of hope, and I held on to that certainty. And I remembered that 2 years before, I had gone to the Amalfi Coast, and I met at the beach. It was just like me and 3 friends at the beach, and that old man. And he came to my friend and he said that I was the mermaid that he had been writing about in his poetry books, and that was like Su Sirena. He's like mermaid, siren, and took us back to his place and like showed us the poem and offered us like cheese and ham. It was like a beautiful moment, super authentic. It was during May, so that's why like there was no one there. It was in the Maori beach, I think. The one that has like a little castle on the left side. I'm not sure which one it is. I'll tag it here later. And this was like the loveliest man ever. And I speak a little bit of Italian, so it was like beautiful to just come back to my origins and speak a Latin language instead of just like English, boring English all the time. And it was a beautiful moment. And then like I remembered about that. I was reminded of that event through that person that told me that my story was like The Little Mermaid. And I was like, oh my God, everything's making sense. And then I went on Google and I searched my name, the meaning, because I felt an inclination to do it. And as I search it, it says Star of the Sea. Like Marianne means Star of the Sea. And I was just like shook. So I feel like the recovery of my voice and the fact that I lost it because I was kind of bullied for being me and speaking up and just singing all the time. I feel like this is like the perfect narrative to like explain in a metaphor, in a beautiful way, who I truly am. And so I'm gonna base my album on that. I know that the imaginary of the ocean is very tied to many Portuguese singers, as it should. I'm not claiming to be the one and only or like super original on this. I think it belongs to all of us in the most beautiful way. But I think my story is beautiful also in its own way, and I want to honor it. But I think that's it. Big kisses. Yeah, really appreciate you. Bye.